Hi, this is Dave with Food Delivery, and this is the weekly Q&A with Dave. This is episode 5, and this week's question is, how do you overcome failure? Well, failure is certainly part of any business. Failure helps you to grow. They're stepping stones. So I'm going to show you things to help you to overcome any roadblocks or challenges or obstacles that get in your way when you're trying to do something, and how can you prepare yourself to overcome failure. The first thing, especially when starting a business, to overcome failure is to define what success is. So try to work backwards in this situation. What does your success look like? What does your goal look like? And that's why it's really important to have goals and to write them down so you know which direction you're going. So we're going to start at the end first here. So we have our goal. We now know exactly what we need to accomplish. A lot of times people will start something without knowing where they're wanting to go, and they never end up where they need to be because they never define what success looks like. They never define what is it that you're going to achieve. So in order to achieve your goal, you have to understand what the path is to get there, right? That's why creating a plan is very important for you. So there's always a starting point. So we'll say start. Okay, there's always that starting point. Now, what you want to do is map out the critical steps to get to that goal. So now that you have laid out all the steps that you need to create your goal, let's say your goal is to create a business, right? So there's a bunch of steps in this process to achieve your goal of launching a business. And the great thing about having individual sub-goals to your final goal is you know what you have to achieve, right? So you're defining success at this stage, at this stage, and at this stage. You're defining what success is. You know what the end state is. You know what the outcome needs to be. You know that you have to have an accounting system, right? So you know until you get that accounting system in place, like QuickBooks, for example, you have not met that goal. So now you have defined each of the major goals to get to your end destination, which is, in this situation, starting a business. That's the first step, right? You have clarity, you know what to do. Now, how to overcome failure. So there are 3 outcomes to trying to achieve a goal. So we finished our last goal, we're going to our second goal. There are 3 things that could happen. Number 1 is unhindered success. Unhindered success means there's no obstacles that will get in your way. So if you want QuickBooks, you go to QuickBooks.com or whatever it is, you buy it, you download it. That's unhindered success. You've achieved the goal without any roadblocks, barriers, obstacles, or challenges, okay? So the second outcome to achieving your goal is if you do face an obstacle or a challenge or a failure point. So let's just say that in your pursuit to purchasing QuickBooks, you realize that I don't have enough money to purchase QuickBooks. That is now an obstacle. So you have 2 options to deal with this obstacle. Number 1 is you quit. You give up. That's where the real failure is. Failure doesn't happen. So failure is a finite thing. Failure is when you stop in your pursuit of a goal and you give up. That's failure. Okay? Now, the other factor in this is that you have a problem, you have a situation, you have an obstacle. The other path is to overcome it. Okay? That's overcoming your failure. It's a longer road to achieving that goal, but you're now overcoming that failure. You're thinking of ways that you can achieve the goal by overcoming those obstacles. So in our situation with QuickBooks, and you don't have any money, what could you do? Well, you start to think of alternative. You start to think about options of how to overcome that obstacle. You think creatively. You may ask other people for their opinion. But let's just say that I don't have any money. What's some good options? What's some good problem solving techniques? Well, let's think about who could provide you money. Maybe it's your parents, maybe it's your siblings, maybe it's your friends, maybe it's your families. Okay? You're now thinking of creative ways to overcome the obstacle. So, in this situation, we're overcoming the obstacle. And in doing this, we're doing three things. We're overcoming an obstacle. Number one is we're learning, we're growing as an individual, and we are gaining experience. We are learning how to problem solve. This is just one of many obstacles and problems in your way that you're going to have. And you're going to learn, you're going to grow, and you're going to gain some experience. So the next time that you go run into this obstacle or any obstacle, you're going to have some confidence about what you can do, how to brainstorm ideas to overcome the obstacle. So you're going to learn, you're going to grow in your experience. And then the most key thing here is that you're overcoming that obstacle to achieve your goal. So this is how you overcome failure. So to answer your question about how do you kind of overcome failure, it's just this: you have three options when you're attacking a goal. Unhindered success, meaning you achieve your goal with no issue, right? You can quit, but once you quit, you're all done. There's nothing more to do. You're done. You don't start your business. You don't. This is one of the subtasks in many tasks in order to reach your ultimate goal. You're never going to do it. You're going to fail. A lot of people go here. A lot of people will quit because they don't want to persevere. They don't want to give the extra effort to continue on. But if you're really clear with your goals and you know that in order to achieve success, I need to do this, right? Now you can think of ways to get there. That's why it's important to write down your goals and really plan out what you want to achieve. So if you run into a challenge or an obstacle, you have to overcome it. You have to think of ways to overcome it, not give up. If you give up, you're done. So this is pretty much the thought process I have. I always keep my eye on the prize, meaning I keep my eye on the ultimate goal. I know what I have to do to get there, and I know I'm going to get there. It's just a matter of time. And there are tons of resources out there for you to get to your goal. The worst thing you can do is give up. You're not passionate about what you're doing. You're going to give up. You're going to quit, and that's going to be it. So if you run into an obstacle, it's not the end, right? It's a stepping stone. It's a learning opportunity for you. So I hope this was helpful. If you have a question that you want me to answer, put it in the comments below, and I wish you a good day. Happy delivery.